the mound.
The Giants have won the ball game. Bill Laskey has shut out the Montreal Expos.
To the mic.
He's the ace of the staff. Let's welcome in Logan Webb. Welcome in Lamont Wade Jr. Honored to have my guest on today, Kyle Harrison. Let's bring a friend of mine in, Pat Burrow. Pat, how are you today?
Bill, I'm doing great, man. Glad to be on with you.
Giants fans, this is Extra Innings with Bill Laskey.
Sponsored by Lenardi's Markets of the Bay Area. Quite simply, the best.
On your exclusive home of the San Francisco Giants. KNBR 104.5 FM and 680 AM. The sports leader.
Welcome into the Extra Inning post-game show with Bill Laskey as the San Francisco Giants win the third game of a three-game series. 6-3 in the Great America Ballpark. A lot of things to talk about in this game. Let's just talk about the scores. Thursday they win 6-4. Yesterday they lose 3-2. Today they win 6-3 and they win their first series and on to Houston. Astros are playing good. They're 2-1 also. The Giants are now 2-1, but a lot of things, and I say this, a lot of things happen in this game, and I have to go right off the bat with pitching. The first 4 innings, perfect for both sides. Nick Martinez, 12 up, 12 down. Robbie Ray, 12 up, 12 down. It was a pitching matchup. After that, we saw 2 home runs by the San Francisco Giants. We saw a bunt single by Tyler Fitzgerald, a sacrifice bunt by Lamont Wade Jr., a stolen base that was so close at third base from Tyler Fitzgerald. We saw a sac fly, so many things that we haven't seen in years by the San Francisco Giants. The 2 two-out rallies, 2 of them. We'll talk about all the scoring in a minute, but a lot of things happened, and the Giants did well today from the bullpen starting pitching, some great defense by Matt Chapman, a great diving catch by Elliot Ramos in the 9th inning, and Camilo Duvall, that's right, Camilo Duvall gets the first save for his 2025 season. But let's wrap this up. Let's get this thing rolling. Let's talk about Robbie Ray because he was dialed in from the first inning through 5 innings. He had a perfect 5, and he was just really on set, striking out McClain, a pop-up to second base, a ground ball to Chapman, and he was on his way in the first inning, only throwing 9 pitches, 7 of them for strikes. The second inning, 11 pitches, 8 for strikes, punching out Encarnacion Strand. The third inning, 17 pitches, 8 for strikes, and he got Blake done on a 3-2 slider, a pearl of a pitch. The fourth inning, another 1-2-3 inning, 11 pitches, 6 for strikes. The fifth inning, 13 pitches, 9 for strikes. Everything was going great with Robbie Ray. After 5 innings, 61 pitches, 38 for strikes. When you look at first pitch strikes, so I always talk about 15 hitters, 9 of them for 0-1, and I think that was the key for Robbie Ray in this game. When you look at the final numbers, 78 pitches, 46 for strikes, 5 ground ball outs, 4 fly ball outs, and everything was dialed in until we got into the 6th inning. The Giants gave him a 1-run lead in the 5th inning when Elliott hit a changeup, first hit of the game, and it came in after a fly ball by Chapman and a 1-1 pitch that Nick Martinez tried to slip a changeup in there at 80 miles an hour, and Elliot Ramos hit it out of the ballpark, his second in the 3-game series, and it had 1-0 lead in the 6th inning. The Giants capitalized again, a 2-0 sinker in on the hands of Tyler Fitzgerald. He hit it down the left field line for a double. 2 punch-outs after that by Wade and Adames, and Jung-Hoo Lee, a 1-1 slider. Martinez tried to slip it on the outside corner, and Jung-Hoo Lee hit it down the left field line for a double, capitalizing the second run. And Matt Chapman comes up next on a 0-1 pitch, a fastball in on his hands. He hit it 375 feet out to left field, his first home run of the year. And the Giants score 3 runs. And so, you know, it happens all the time. There's something that happens with a pitcher in the game, and Robbie Ray goes out there with a 4-0 lead. The first pitch he throws to Gavin Lux, a base hit up the middle, so the perfect game was gone. But then Matt Chapman comes up with a dazzling play, a ball down the third base line. He backhands it, throws out Blake Dunn at first base. And I think this is when really the game unravels for Robbie Ray. You get in a rhythm. You're starting to connect with the catcher, and he had Sam Huff behind the plate. And I thought he really called a good game. Not too many shakeoffs throughout the game. And then all of a sudden, on a 2-1 pitch, the umpire, Manny Gonzalez, calls a pitch clock. And what happens is a violation, and it rings in his ear, and he has to call timeout and calls a pitch clock. And the violation gives the hitter one ball, and all of a sudden, Robbie Ray, and you see the pitch go through, and it was a fastball, and Robbie Ray kind of looked upset. He was shaking his head. He felt maybe his knee was up before the pitch was made. But he changes the pitch. And this was the idea. I was like, okay, why did you do that? He should have came with another fast, but came with a slider, and Austin Wynns hits it out of the home run and really just knocked him off the mound. He just couldn't catch up after that. He tries to go after Matt McClain, goes 3-1 on Matt McClain, and Matt McClain hits one out to deep center field, back-to-back home runs, and Robbie Ray was shook up. He walks Espinal on 4 pitches, and he was done. But it's just that tempo of the game. I pitched for many years. Tempo of the game. You got your concentration going down. Sure, Lux gets a hit, but you're trying to get through that inning. I don't know what it was. It was something that just jarred his knowledge. Maybe it just took him off surprise, but he just lost consciousness of the game after that. You know what? It was fine, though. He pitched a great game. Nothing wrong with what he did. Gave up a couple home runs. He really used a good mix of fastball, curveball, slider, and changeups. Really didn't throw many knuckle curveballs. He only threw one to be affected. 47 fastballs. He got up to 95 at the highest on velocity. 93 he averaged out. The slider, he threw 20 of them. Really sharp slider. Got a couple strikeouts with it. Got ahead of hitters with that. And he ended up going 90 miles an hour on a couple of sliders, which is about the normal speed, 88 on the average. The changeup, the new pitch that he's trying to conquer, he's trying to throw. He threw 10 of them. 87 was kind of a high. That was a little low. And then 85 was the average, and I think that's where he wants to go with that pitch. So, you know what? I would pat him on the back, just like we saw with Justin Verlander. 2 good outings by the veteran pitchers, the righty and the lefty. Robbie Ray ends up getting the win on this, going 5 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Then the bullpen comes in. Eric Miller struggled a little bit coming into the game. De La Cruz gets a base hit. It was first and second. And then he ended up getting a nice double play from an Encarnacion Strand. 4-6-3 double play, gets out of the inning. Lou Trevino comes in. Boy, he used to pitch really well yesterday. First time he's pitched since 2022. And he got right in the fire. Ended up getting a 1-2-3 inning. But Gavin Lux hit one out to right field and went right to the wall where Luis Matos caught it. And you could see the little glimmer of smile and relief by Lou Trevino walking off the mound. A little heartbeat was pumping there, but he got out of the inning. Tyler Rogers comes in, and really a wild double play to get out of this inning. He ends up giving a base hit up to Dunn, and then Hucklebees comes in, gets a walk, and a ball that was hit off the edge of the bat. Matt McClain picks that up. Of course, Rogers picks that, goes to first base on that for an out. Now it's first and second, moved up to second and third now. And he gets a wild double play here. Espinal hits a ball to Matt Chapman. Hucklebees is running at him, and I thought he tagged him. In the post game on NBC Bay Area, he said he was out of the baseline, so he never tagged him. So that was an out, and he threw to first base for a double play. Of course, Tyler Rogers laughing coming off the mound, and he got a double play, and that really saved that inning for Tyler Rogers as well as for the Giants. And then Camilo Duvall, and boy, he really looked good today, getting ahead of hitters, and he had a punch-out 1-2-3 inning, a great catch by Ramos in left field. And Duvall gets to save a nice 1-2-3 inning for him, and the Giants walk away from Great America Ballpark with the series win, and they win 2 out of 3. On the offensive side, after the home run by Ramos, Fitzgerald hits a double. Jung-Hoo Lee hits a double. Home run by Matt Chapman. But I really want to talk about the 8th inning because I really think this is the part of the game that the Giants have to work on and get better at. Of course, the ground ball that Tyler Fitzgerald hits leading off the inning, and Ellie De La Cruz throws it in the dirt. He goes safe at first. And I loved what Lamont Wade did in there. Now, I don't know if he had a bunt sign, but he laid a perfect bunt down to get him to second base. And it was great timing. Get another run, get him in scoring position. And so Fitzgerald gets to second base, and he takes off on the first pitch. And it was a close bang-bang play at third base, and he got under it. Replay showed it. I thought he was out. I really thought he ended up tagging the arm of Fitzgerald on the right arm, but they said he got the left arm in. And Willie Adames, something the Giants need to do and do it more, is a sac fly, and they got him in. And that was really a key run for the Giants. Jung-Hoo Lee gets an infield hit to get the rally going again. Matt Chapman gets a walk, and Elliot Ramos gets a base hit off Scott Barlow, who comes in. And the Giants tack on another run, 2 runs that inning on an error. But the sac, bunt, stolen base, things they need to do to generate runs for this 2025 San Francisco Giants team. And the 6 runs ended up being the winner for the SF Giants. So a lot of things to talk about. Love to see the bunt single. Love to see what we see in a sac bunt by Lamont Wade Jr. Of course, the fly ball, the sac fly. Those are all things the Giants have to multiply on and get better as these games continue. But a good win for the Giants, a good series win in the first 3 games in Cincinnati. A lot to talk. Of course, Giants fans, 808 KNBR. Let's get the phone lines talking about what you saw today and some of the things that we generate moving forward against the Houston Astros. We'll break down the Astros 3-game series with the probable pitchers, as well as some more stuff coming up here. Got a couple great interviews later in the show. Tyler Fitzgerald sat down with me in the beginning of the week, and we talked about his spring and his injury and what he looks forward at playing second base. And I really enjoyed this conversation. And if you didn't listen to spring training, Sabin Sabalis, a player they got from the Jorge Soler trade, came up, and he played Double-A last year. He had 15 at-bats, 9 hits, 2 doubles, 1 home run, hit .600 for the San Francisco Giants. A 22-year-old sat down with me, and we got to know Sabin Sabalis, and you Giants fans will really enjoy that interview. So that's all coming up. Let's take our first break. My name's Bill Laskey. This is the Extra Inning Post-Game Show, 808 KNBR. Let's get the phone lines going, and we'll be right back here on KNBR, the Sports Leader.
Your financial journey is unique, and Pettinelli Financial Partners is here to help you navigate it with confidence. So whether you're building your future or securing your retirement, their team provides lifelong personal guidance every step of the way. Start planning your financial journey today. Learn more at PettinelliFP.com. The financial consultants at Pettinelli Financial Partners are registered representatives with and securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, SIPC. Investment advice offered through Stratus Wealth Partners, a registered investment advisor. Stratus Wealth Partners and Pettinelli Financial Partners are separate entities from LPL Financial.
The game may be over, but we know you want to talk more ball. So KNBR Extra Innings with Bill Laskey continues.
Sponsored by Lenardi's Markets of the Bay Area. Quite simply, the best.
We are KNBR 104.5 and 680, the sports leader.
Welcome back to the Extra Inning post-game show. On a Sunday afternoon here in Northern California, overcast, a few showers in the air. Giants win today at Great America Ballpark to take the series 2 out of 3 on to Houston, where the Astros are 2-1 also. Giants win today, 6 runs, 7 hits, no errors. The Reds, 3 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors. Home runs by Elliot Ramos, his second, and Matt Chapman, his first. As we start off the 2025 baseball season, as well as the Extra Inning postgame show, I want to shout out many thanks to my sponsors, and you'll be hearing these sponsors and their commercials all year long. The first, of course, my major sponsor, Lenardi's Markets of the Bay Area. Quite simply the best, no doubt about that. 8 different locations from Belmont, Burlingame, Danville, Los Gatos, San Bruno, 2 in San Jose, Bascom and Meridian, and Walnut Creek. A great, great market for any type of food that you're looking for. Pettinelli Financial Partners in Redwood City. John Pettinelli, good friend of mine, financial consultants offering guidance, support through your life's milestones. And you can call them at 650-595-4600. Of course, where I take my pets, the Wag Hotel, a pet hotel offering doggy daycare, boarding services, grooming, the spa, outdoor fun, and pools. And they have locations in Redwood City, Oakland, Sacramento, San Francisco, Santa Clara. Handlery Hotel, John Handlery, a good boy, good friend of mine, and just does so many things for the show. Of course, the rich history, opening in 1928, exceptional service, commitment to bring you, your family, and friends some great hospitality. 2 new sponsors, Birdman Bats. Boy, a good friend of mine opened this up in 2011. It was established. He's now got baseball gloves out there. You'll have to take a peek at it. But it transforms your swing. He really makes your own personalized bats. It is such a cool factory in Redwood City. Customize your next bat. Check out the glove selection. I was really opened eyes when I went to this factory and saw what he does. You can see all his work at birdmanbats.com. The last sponsor, good people at Georgie Brothers. Just really great people. Know the family for many years. They've been in service since 1933 out of South San Francisco, a family-owned and operated company. Visit them. The showroom, 50,000 square feet, all type of furniture, indoor, outdoor, premium furniture. And you know what? When you go in there, you get great service, and the people are just so friendly. And they're, like I said, located in South San Francisco, 650-588-4621. Georgie Brothers. And I thank all 6 of these sponsors. And I just really appreciate what they do for Extra Innings, especially my new sponsors. Hopefully everybody will get some business out of Giants fans through all 6 of my sponsors. All right, let's get to the phone lines. Let's go out to Alex in Sonoma. Alex, you're on KNBR with Bill Laskey. How are you?
Bill, good afternoon. Thank you. It's so nice to be a part of your show. I just want to quickly bring Vita Blue up. I enjoyed all the years that you and Vita also hosted the game, and you guys were such good friends. Actually, I was a fan of Vita before you, Bill. I am a lifelong Giants fan. Walked into Candlestick Park in 1970, saw Willie Mays, Willie McCovey, Bobby Bonds, and
boy, a host of good names right there, Alex. Boy, you could just rattle them off. But I thank you for bringing up Vita. Vita was a very close friend of mine. As you said, I did 6 years on NBC Bay Area. Of course, it was Comcast back then. And then we had a show here on KNBR on Saturdays called On the Hill with Vita and Bill. A fun show. And I miss my friend. It's going on 2 years now, coming up in the summer months. I always remember him, Dave. daily, and just the laughter and friendship that he and I gave each other.
Thank you, Bill. You guys were like peanut butter and jelly. I used to see him driving his Cadillac.
Yep.
Even though I was in the city, he'd drive by when he was playing for the A's, in the early 70s, and his license plate said blue. Yeah. And I said, I couldn't believe I saw him. I said, my God, that's Vita Blue,
Yeah, he probably had hair back then, Alex.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I listened to your show yesterday, and I just want to be fair. And, it's hard, your first show, it's really hard because nowadays sports gets broken down for day one, first game. They
came at me yesterday, Alex. The fans were coming at me, boy. They had that negative drama, and that's one of the reasons why I broke that out today by saying a sacrifice bunt, a bunt for a single, a stolen base, because everybody wanted to know why they're not stealing bases. Well, today we saw one, and it ended up helping the Giants score a run with Fitzgerald.
Bill, I feel you. I listened to the show. I was trying to get on, man. And it's because, we won the series. And like you said, you do that, you win the series. And, by the time you turn around in June, you're probably up there. And of course, winning the series at home, plus maybe sometimes a sweep or two at home.
Well, it's hard also, Alex. You know this. It's difficult to win series when you're on the road. It's difficult, especially at Great America Ballpark. The home runs were kind of waiting to the middle part of the game, but the first 4 innings, it was a pitcher's duel. 2 perfect games by both Nick Martinez and Robbie Ray, and they were dialed in.
Absolutely, that exactly. So it's so hard to win a series on the road, and since we did it and it's early in the season, it's perfect. All I want to say today is I'm going to be fair. I could understand that the getting your dauber down after a loss, but since we did pull the series off, we're going to say, okay, now we're leaning on the winning side of our record. And I just want to start off on the back end of the game. I'm so happy that Camilo did well because there was a lot of talk last year. We could have picked up a bat or two, or the conversation. You remember. Sure. And it's so important to have a true blue closer. And let's face it, he has the stuff. But
he's got electric stuff. And one of the reasons why he ended up getting that 9th inning, reading about Alex Pavlich, who just tweeted this out, he said that Ryan Walker has some lower back stiffness. He's fine, but they just kept him out. And you know what? Camilo had 3 runs to deal with, and boy, he was electric, as I just said. 1, 2, 3 inning, punching out Ellie De La Cruz with that tight slider. That was the guy we knew 2 years ago when he made a National League All-Star team.
Well, I'm sorry. I hope Walker's okay, but it's just nice to have Camilo do good because if you could have one on your team, not everybody can have a closer. First of all, what they cost, and there's not a lot of them going around. They're like a quarterback, so to speak. And I'm glad that calmer heads kept them around and. See, Walker with his tight back, it's nice to have a Camilo where, they could maybe help each other close this season.
I agree.
And I just want to thank you, Bill, for letting me jump in there. And I'll take that last piece off the air. It's nice to have Camilo and Walker, and I think they both could really fortify closing games for us this season.
I totally agree with you, Alex. Thanks for the call, and it was a good informational right there, is because you do have Ryan Walker as one of your closers, and he was coming out of spring training, is a nice 9th inning closer, and most likely we'll see him. But Camilo Duvall coming off an inconsistent season last year, and what he did in spring training, and I really believe Petit did something, Santiago Casilla did something. Of course, we talked about this through our spring training shows of Buster Posey bringing some of these players in to try to talk to some of these players. And the Latin players came in, and it was really a solid spring training by bringing some of these great players the Giants have worn in their Giants colors of orange and black, and were extremely successful. Buster did this, and I think that was a huge, huge plus for Camilo, just to relax a little bit more. J.P. Martinez now, the pitching coach, speaks fluent Spanish, and I think that's going to be an advantage also in the communication they have with Camilo. Last year he was on the bench, but you know what? You're the second pitching coach. You don't really have a lot to say. You have your opinions, but really now he has come about getting these pitchers to throw strikes, getting that 0-1 strike in. And today we saw the Camilo Duvall come in relaxed, as they say, tranquilo. Make it relax. Make it easy on yourself. Don't go after it. Don't go after so many perfect pitches. Go and use your stuff. And it was really, really a fascinating 1-2-3 inning. And let's see more of it. I think that's what Giant fans want to see. The bullpen is solid. Lou Trevino is a great, great plus. We saw Randy Rodriguez yesterday really look sharp. Spencer Bivens, he's going to be okay. We just got to give him a little more rope. He gave the home run yesterday for the loss. But Lou Trevino is a great add-on. Also, Hayden Birdsong, where does he fit in this bullpen? He was going to be the fifth starter. Now he's in long relief, more or less. I don't know how long they can keep him down there without pitching. The 23-year-old, I don't know if it's a better idea for him to go to Sacramento to get a couple starts rather than just sitting in the bullpen. And this is something most likely they have talked to him about, as well as talking to J.B. Martinez and Garvin Alston to get his mindset coming out of the bullpen. So a whole nother conversation when he does come into the game from the bullpen, and he has not had that experience so far. So that's a question mark, I say, in the bullpen. It's not a big question mark, but it's something to have concerns about. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. 808 KNBR if you want to give me a call. 415-808-5627 if you need numbers. Let's go to San Francisco and talk to Mike. Mike, you're on with Bill Laskey on the X-Earning Postgame Show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, Bill. Good afternoon. It's nice to get a matinee game day after a loss and get on out of there.
Yeah, good point right there, Mike. And let's just start off with that. That's a great point. After coming in with a win on Thursday, they get the day off Friday. They get a 2-run lead starting yesterday. They just couldn't add on to it. And today, boy, the first 4 innings, it was dazzling. Both Nick Martinez and Robbie Ray with perfect games, 12 up, 12 down. Let's ask you this one, Mike. What'd you think of that first 4 innings? These guys were mid-season form.
Yeah, I'm looking at the two pitchers, and I got to say Robbie Ray looked great, and their pitcher Martinez, he was sticking to the outside half of the plate. That was their game plan going in, and that's he was strong. He was missing on the corner. It wasn't by much, so they were rolling with it, and I guess they just executed. So hat tip to them. Same to Camilo for picking up Ryan Walker today. And
yeah, I thought that was a big hit. That's why I first wondered what was wrong with Ryan Walker. And just a stiff back. These things happen from flights to weather, just from twisting and turning. Tyler Fitzgerald had a similar injury during spring training. You'll hear that later on when he talks about it in the interview I had. Things like this, minor injuries, you rest them. You don't push them. Too early in the year. We're only 3 games into the season. And, the compliment is to have Camilo Duvall come in. And, boy, he looked great today.
I thought the pace of the game and of course, the vibe has been great. It was great to see. It was good to see some in-game adjustments. I know Fitzgerald didn't go the other way with it to get that rally started after Ramos hit the homer, but he did take it down the line. I liked seeing us use the whole field. And
yeah, 2-0 pitch, a sinker in is what Nick Martinez was trying to do, and he got in there, but he just got it down that left field line, and with his speed got into second base. I really thought that was a real good swing on him. What'd you think about the bunt base hit he hit in the 9th inning?
Oh, that was fantastic. I was wondering if it was an error, but I think they gave him the hit and error. The throwing error. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they gave him a throwing error on that one. Brent Sutter. Yeah, he picked it up down the third base line and lofted it down the first base line. It went all the way down the corner, but Fitzgerald never picked it up. It ended up just getting into second base. I think if he would have saw it, that would have been fun one to see if he would have got around the bases on it, but it never happened. But still, I like the bunt base hits. Something different and get speed on the bases.
Exactly. And, as far as the pace goes, with if we're trying to be goal oriented, and we also have to take a step back and say, hey, there's 162 games, right? So if our goal is 30 home runs or 40 stolen bases, maybe Tyler has that in mind. I don't know, but that's one every 4 days. You don't need to go, but every 4 days if you're going to get on base once.
Well,
it's good to see him.
When you look at Mike, when you look at him in the bottom of the order, where you got him 9, and then you're coming up to Ramos or Wade Jr. in the first spot, you want him to get on the bases and try to get in scoring position, because I love that 9-1-2 in an order where the ninth guy has speed and he can develop a little bit running on hit and runs or stolen bags. I think that's why you're going to see Fitzgerald hitting the ninth spot more.
Yeah, and Lamont Wade with the perfect push bunt down there, and Adames, simple fly ball to center field.
Things we didn't see, right, Mike? Mike, we didn't see that much last year of that. We always saw, a guy on third, one out or less, and they never scored. Today, we almost saw that when Fitzgerald hit the double and Wade and Adames struck out, and Jung-Hoo Lee ends up getting that nice 1-1 slider in the outside corner, pushing it down the third baseline. I thought that was a great at-bat by Jung-Hoo Lee in the 6th inning.
I'm giving them the green check mark.
All right, Mike. Well, thanks for the call and enjoy the game. And we got 3 more in Houston before the home opener next Friday. That'll be exciting when the Mariners come to town. I appreciate your time, Mike.
My pleasure.
All right, Giants win today 6-3. 6 runs, 7 hits, 2 home runs by the Giants. Ramos hit his second. Matt Chapman hit his first. 808 KNBR if you want to get on the phone lines. Got a few on hold. We're going to take a quick break and bring you more right here on KNBR, the Sports Leader.
listening to the former Giants righty. It's KNBR Extra Innings with Bill Laskey.
Sponsored by Lenardi's Markets of the Bay Area. Quite simply, the best.
Heard on your Apple HomePod by saying play KNBR.
Back on the Extra Inning post-game show with Bill Laskey on KNBR. Great outing today by Robbie Ray, coming after what Justin Verlander did yesterday. Had a perfect game. 15 up, 15 down through 5 innings. Got a little trouble in the 6th inning. I really go back to this with Austin Wynns. It was a 2-1 count, and the pitch clock ended up ringing in Manny Gonzalez's ear, and he put his hand up, and he gives him a pitch. It's now 2-1. Now it goes into 2. It was 1-1. It went into 2-1. And, it really kind of upset Robbie Ray. You could see him. He was a little flustered. He threw a pitch as he was putting his hand up, and it was a fastball. He changed it and ended up throwing him a slider. And Austin Wynns didn't miss it. He hit it out to left field, and it was really one of the only mistakes that Robbie Ray made. He got flustered again as he went right behind with Matt McClain, the next hitter, 3-1, and ended up trying to throw a fastball. And McClain ended up hitting it out to left center field, also more to center field. And he was done right then. The mental side of the game was checked out. He ends up walking Espinal on 4 pitches, and Melvin took him out. Going into that inning, I really felt he had really quality stuff. 61 pitches, 38 for strikes. You look at what he does in first pitch strikes through 5th inning, 15 hitters face, 9 first pitch strikes. And he used an arsenal of really 3 pitches. He didn't throw his curveball only once, a fastball, a slider, and his new pitch, the changeup. Mixed in 10 of them, and it's going to be the confidence of him. Now, Sam Huff caught him today, Patrick Bailey, and bringing that changeup into his arsenal, bringing it into different pitches selection when the hitters are 0-1 or 0-2. Sometimes 2-0 is the best time to throw a changeup because they're looking fastball. But overall today, he's got to be happy with himself. The 6th inning just was a couple blunders. I really feel it just knocked him off the edge of the mental side when Manny Gonzalez called a pitch clock. This didn't seem right after that. He just seemed like he was trying to aim the ball, and he ends up throwing a slider right down the middle, and Austin Wynn hits it out. But overall, great game by Robbie Ray. He picks up his first win, gives up a couple home runs and a win in McLean. 78 pitches, 46 for strikes, 5 ground ball outs, 4 fly ball outs, and he walks out after the bullpen shuts him down when Eric Miller, Lou Trevino, Tyler Rogers, and Camilo Duvall gets his first save for the 2025 season. Overall, pitching was great. On the hitting side, you need to look at what Jung-Hoo Lee did today, 2 for 4 with an RBI. Matt Chapman, 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Elliot Ramos really had a great game today, 2 for 4 with a home run. He got a base hit in that 8th inning. He ended up with 2 RBIs. And Tyler Fitzgerald, who you're going to hear an interview later in the show with me and Tyler talking about his 2025 season. He goes 2 for 4 with a stolen base and a bunt single. Love to see that and hope we see more of that. And the Giants ended up winning the series, winning the last game here, the rubber match, 6-3 on 6 hits, 6 runs and 7 hits. And if you're listening to the broadcast at the end, they were hustling out of there. There's a big storm coming through Cincinnati, and they got to get to cross the line of Cincinnati, get into Kentucky, and fly out and get to Houston. 3-game series. We'll look at that a little bit later on what's coming up on the probable pitchers. Let's get back to the phones. Let's go to Rockland and talk to JR. JR, you're on the Extra Inning post-game show with Bill Laskey. What'd you think of the game today?
Hey, Bill. Great game, man. Thanks for taking my call, first of all. Great game by Robbie Ray. I think it kind of shows the importance of the bullpen pitching. People say starting pitchers can't go a full 9, and it shows the rarity of pitchers being able to go a full 9, going from a perfect game to, giving up 3 runs, back-to-back home runs in that 6th inning. But what I really wanted to call about was Jung-Hoo Lee and the impact that he's made for the Giants. I know he got injured early last year, but in game 1 he had he went 1 for 6 in the first 2 games, but in the first game he did get walked twice, and I think he had 2 runs in that first game. And then today, he had that with 2 outs, he had that big hit that drove in a run.
Yeah, beautiful
Yeah,
hit.
yeah, to the
A
left
1-1
field.
slider. Martinez tried to come back door with him, and a great hitting by going the opposite way, hit it right down the left field line. And then the infield hit he had off Taylor Rogers, in the 8th inning, the hustle that he did going down the line. I'm right with you. Just got to keep him healthy and to play good defense. And I would love to see him go to left field a little bit more than just trying to pull it.
I agree. I'm a big fan, big supporter. So, I just want to see your thoughts. I know the last caller had some pretty good takes, and you mentioned him a little bit, but just wanted to, your opinion on the impact he can make to the team going forward and for the rest of the year. Thanks for the call.
I'm right there with you, JR. Thanks for the call. And Jung-Hoo Lee is healthy. I think that's the biggest thing that the Giants want to see, especially last year with the collarbone injury and the surgery. He was out all year. And then toward the end of spring training, if you remember, had a little stiff lower back. MRI showed nothing wrong with him, so they gave him a couple days off, came back and played against Detroit in the exhibition games. And he's off and running. I think he's going to be a big, big plus for the San Francisco Giants as we move forward here. And Willie Adames playing a good, solid shortstop, got a nice sac fly RBI. He'll go into Houston looking for his first big league hit with the Giants. But at the same time, you look at that left side of the infield, Willie Adames and Matt Chapman. How could you not love to pitch with those guys behind you? And, of course, Matt Chapman making some brilliant plays at third base today, especially the one that we don't talk about. It happened in the 6th inning after Gavin Lux got the base hit. Blake Dunn hit a ball right down the line, and he backhanded it and threw. As soon as he caught it, crossed the diamond, and he got him out. It was just a great bang-bang play. And, of course, the double play ball when Tyler Rogers was out there, second and third, and Huckabees was coming in from third. Everybody thinks he tagged him, but on all the replays, he didn't tag him. He ran out of the baseline, which called him out, and then Matt Chapman went through with the throw to first base, and the double play ended up that inning. And it was just a great bang-bang play. We've watched it from this Platinum Gold Glove winner last year. So glad he's with the Giants here for the next few years. A great leader in the locker room. Hit his first home run this year. And just a great, great combination with him and Adames on the left-hand side of the diamond. And the Giants win 6-3. First series win. And I think that's a big, big plus for these Giants traveling to Houston now. All right, let's get back to the phone calls. Let's go to Lathrop. Talk to Sergio. Sergio, you're on KNBR with Bill Laskey on a Sunday afternoon. Hope you're well. What's going on?
Bill, my amigo, how you doing today, sir?
I'm good, my friend. How are you?
I'm good. Good. Just enjoying the windy, cold weather outside.
Yeah, a little overcast here. A little overcast, yeah. But a good game, an early game for us to watch in Cincinnati, and it was a good win and a good series win.
Yeah, I think play a game by Ray and the Miller, Trevino, Rogers, and Duvall. Overall, pretty much good day for as far as the pitching. Just kind of waiting on the hitting to come around. Hopefully soon. But
yeah, I thought it was a good game today overall. You saw a sacrifice bunt by Lamont Wade Jr. We talked about it yesterday. We wanted to see a little bit more getting hitters and getting runners in scoring position. They did that a couple times today. I loved Willie Adames coming in with a sac fly. Things like that have to continue to make this team score runs.
Yeah, I think if they play like just small fundamental baseball, it'll come around. Moving a runner up when he's supposed to, instead of striking out with running second base and stuff like that. That makes a big difference. But,
when you were watching this, Sergio, when you were watching this, did you feel the same way I did when that pitch clock was thrown on Robbie Ray? It kind of just took him off his game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I did. As a matter of fact, I did. I was like, what the heck is going on here? So, yeah, that kind of upset him. And then we all know what happened after that, right? He gave up the home run after that. And I'm like,
the next pitch, he changed the pitch selection. He first threw a fastball, then he threw a slider, and the thing was flat as a pancake. And Wynn's got a little power. And, we've seen him play with the Giants, and he didn't miss it. The home run right after that is when I really thought that was it for him, when Matt McClain hit the 3-1 fastball out, and it changed the direction of the game and gave the Reds a little momentum until Eric Miller got the double play ball.
That's what I was afraid of. Oh, man, here we go again. So, I thought yesterday when we had a 2-0 lead, I didn't get to watch the game, but I went up to the Good Guys Car Show and I listened to, on KNBR, of course, and I said, oh, 2-0 lead. Okay, I think we got this. And as soon as I said that, I go, should have kept my mouth shut. But
yeah, they had opportunities in that game, the 6th, 7th, and 8th inning. Yeah. They had runners on base, but the double play was halted.
Double plays, yeah.
They just couldn't get anything going, and the Reds bullpen stymied them. Today, the Giants bullpen stymied the Reds, and I'm just glad they won the series. I think that's a good start when you travel, especially going to Cincinnati with their home opener. They have parades. Everything's all Cincinnati Reds and the Red, and they win a great game on opening day in the 9th inning. Yesterday, they faltered, but coming back today gives them a little momentum. Gives them some momentum into Houston.
Yeah, you know what, Bill? I think I talked to you about before the season started about maybe me personally going with Schmidt over Fitzgerald, but I think I was wrong on that. I think Mel made a good choice by keeping Fitzgerald in there. I think he's to me looks a bit more of a maybe more experience, I guess.
Sergio, later in the show, I had a sit down with Tyler Fitzgerald earlier in the week, and we really talk about defense. We talk about hitting, stolen bases, striking out a lot. He did last year, and you'll love it because Tyler really comes clean. I've known Tyler ever since he played in Double-A. I've done some great interviews with him, and I was just so glad to sit down and kind of get his thoughts on moving to a new position at second base. And I know you'll enjoy listening to that because you're going to hear a lot of things that he's learning playing second base and the different turns, the different twist. But you know what? He's all ears. He opens his ears for Matt Chapman. He opened his ears, with so many different coaches from other players coming in to help him. And I think that's what you need to hear from young players. Open your ears, listen, learn, and it'll help.
What I see in him up is when they put the camera close up, I see like a total focus on what he's trying to do, and to me that's a plus. So,
Scudero came in, and he talked about Scudero helping him at second base, trying to get him relaxed. And, that's what Buster Posey, he's a baseball guy, and that's what I love about him. Yeah. It's not about having these ex-players come in and coach him. It's about the ex-players telling them the mental side and the physical side of getting through some bad habits or learning a little bit more. That you can't beat that, and that's what Buster did, and that's why he's going to bring baseball back to the orange and black.
And I think also, before you let me go, what's going to help him, I think, is having Adames and Chapman, and on this right, this right side. I think that's going to be a big plus.
Totally agree. And you know what? Those guys are going to lead him to different ways of approaching the game. Balance and throws. But hey, Sergio, thanks for giving me a call today. It's always a pleasure talking baseball.
One more thing.
Go ahead. What's up?
So on yesterday's game, not that it's a big deal. It's only game 2. To some of the fans that called up and gave you a hard time, guys. Relax, man. It's only freaking game 2. It's like,
thanks, Sergio. You heard what many people were texting me yesterday. They're like, my goodness, they're coming after you. And I said, pump the brakes, please. Pump the brakes. We got 160 games left. Come on. But it's all right. Fans can do that all they want on this show. And I just want them to call in and express their feelings. And that's what I love talking to Giants fans for. But Sergio, thanks for bringing that up. All right, buddy. Have a good day. All right, let's go out to Hayward and talk to Rick. Rick, you're on the Extra Inning post-game show. What'd you think of the game today?
I'm pumping hard. I got the brakes pumped. I'm listening.
Okay.
I was laughing after I hung up. All right. I brought up some points yesterday. I know I was critical. I'm critical every loss. I want to win every game. I want to see the team win every game.
And every Giants fan's the same. And that's why, that's why I say everybody's opinion's their opinion. That's why I let them talk. But sometimes, you know me, Rick, pump the brakes, pal. Put the wall up a little bit. We're 1-1, but it's okay. Right. It's okay. I'd rather have them call in and voice their opinion than not call in and scream at the television set.
Well, here's the thing. Yesterday's game was such a winnable game. That's why it kind of frustrated me. I thought that they had every opportunity to win that game, and they just didn't take it. So today, Matt Chapman, I want to start with, first off, Robbie Ray, 5 incredible innings, and then, I totally agree with you.
The pitch clock
stupid
thing, man, it was just kind of strange, you know, and Kruk and Kipe talked about it on NBC Bay Area, where they said it rings in the umpire's ear and he has to call timeout immediately. But, you know, I say this, Rick, and I'm a pitcher. If my knee is up in the air, you shouldn't call clock violation.
That's exactly right. It's stupid.
That's what I thought. And I think that's what Robbie Ray was saying. He's like, I was already throwing. Once the knee gets up, that clock should go away. I just, you know, if it's talking about a fraction of a second at that time of the game, it did bug him. I really think it threw him off his game.
Yeah, I think that the league is I feel for the umpires because, I mean, they're stuck in that no man's land where they have to do this. Honestly, I thought Fitzgerald was out at third base. I mean, I don't know how they got that call changed. But
well, you know, when you look at it in so many angles that we saw, it looks like he swiped him and missed his right arm because you don't see it hitting. That's what I kind of looked at when I said they called him safe. That's what I felt that they saw.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But it took like 6 times before I actually saw that he didn't actually tag the mitten hand, the left hand, and then we lost the glove on that one angle, and then when they reverse angled it, you saw that it didn't even look like he tagged his right arm. He tagged his jersey afterwards, and then at that point,
he kind of went back after him. You know, after he swiped him, he kind of went back, and maybe, I mean, and you hear Kruk and Kipe talk about, they have so many angles that they can show you, but when you go back to the replay center, they probably have 15 more angles, and I think even when you slowed it down, you really couldn't tell. It was a bang-bang play. I was kind of surprised Fitzgerald took off because you never want to make an out at third base. It was a good hustle play, a bang-bang play, and it went the Giants' way, and it ended up getting another run.
Well, this is what I want to talk about. A sacrifice bunt by John Ho. A sacrifice fly. Stolen base. 3 runs manufactured today. Yay.
How about that?
9 out of the 15 runs in the series were home run balls.
Yeah.
Still got to manufacture more, but we got 3 today, which is I'm very happy. Plus, Chappie saved. And there's no doubt about this. Chappie saved at least 2 runs. The one that he dove to his right on the that was incredible. Yep. I mean, I don't know how he got to that ball. I mean, and that's no fluke. He's done that time and time again. And then the phantom tag that you explained it a few seconds ago, where the umpire called him out because he ran out of the baseline.
Yeah, and I think everybody thinks he tagged him, you know.
He didn't tag him.
He never tagged him. And once the umpire called that, and he was the player of the game on NBC Bay Area with George Contos and Laura Britt, and he said no, as soon as he heard out of the baseline, he just kept going through and made that play. I love the expression on Tyler Rogers' face. He was like, thank you so much. You know, I got out of that inning with no runs.
Yeah. My last point is to Ben from yesterday. He called you, I think after I called you, and he said, no, it was before me, one before me, and I didn't really pay attention at the time, but then I heard it a little later on. He said that he was upset that we signed Chapman and we signed Adames to those big contracts. And he said we have a shortstop in Marco Luciano. Are you kidding me?
Well, you know, you take the good with the bad, right, Rick? You take the good with the bad, callers, and I kind of let him go for a little bit, and I go, time out here. You have the best third baseman in Major League Baseball right now, and you signed him for a multi-year contract. There is nobody that can play third base like him. There is nobody in the minor leagues that could even fit in his shoes. Then you go out and you get a shortstop. You didn't want to go get Kim from San Diego. He was hurt. Buster Posey put all his eggs in a basket. And really what I love about this, Rick, he learned about the personality of Willie Adames. He checked with managers. He checked with other players. Now that's what I like, because you find the personality of the player. Does he fit? And that's what Buster Posey did all his years in the clubhouse. I thought he got the goal winner right there.
Right. That's, you know what, I'm coming around a little bit with the Buster deal. I really, looking at this team, 25 of the 40-man roster is Farhan's players. And you know what?
It'll change. It'll change.
But I'm not ripping on Farhan. I think the guy knew baseball. his culture was a little off, and I don't like what he did to the clubhouse, taking down all the memories of the World Series.
And how about all the players? How about all the young players he just destroyed? Yeah. That's what I didn't like about it at all. You look at physicality, but you look at the mental side. Luis Matos is now, I think he'll be a great player in the big leagues. I think that is going to be a big, big plus for the Giants. Yastrzemski and him are going to play great in right field. Jung-Hoo Lee signing by Farhan, I think that was a good move also. There was some good additions that he did, and he also took some away. So, those 6 years are behind us. We have to build with this team, but I love giving Bob Melvin the reins on what he wants to do on the field. And you said it earlier, bunting guys over, bunting for a hit, getting people on, moving them over, getting that run in third base with less than 2 outs. Those are going to be key points of this Giants team, and I think that's what we're seeing, and we saw it today.
Well, look at Robbie Ray today. That's a key point. Farhan knew his mistake. He got rid of DeSclafani.
Yeah.
He got rid of Haniger. Where are DeSclafani and Haniger today?
They're sitting home collecting checks is what they're doing.
Sure are. And Robbie Ray, I got to give it to Robbie Ray. I said that there were 7 spots in this lineup that were question marks. Today, those question marks, Lee, Ramos, Wade, even though Wade's got only no hits, but he made that sacrifice bunt today.
Nice bunt.
And Adames with 1 for 11. I'm not even worried. I don't care. I know he's going to not bat for an average. Everybody out there that thinks he's going to bat for an average, that's not it. What you're talking about with his leadership side in and around, and the game on Friday or Thursday where he jumped off and he was leading the charge.
That was pretty cool.
Pound
pretty
Flores
cool. Flores hit that home run, and I think that's the excitement I think a lot of Giants fans see, and you see it, Rick, and those are different things that this team needs to keep getting better and better at. But, hey, great call today, Rick. I really appreciate your time, and it was all positive. Yay!
All right, Bill. Hey, Bill, are you going to do any of the games during the week, or are you off?
Yeah, right. Well, as the season gets going here, I'll probably be doing Friday nights like I did last year and sitting in whenever I get an opportunity to, but weekends will always be me. I'll be looking forward to more conversations with you and talking more Giants baseball. But have a good day, Rick. I appreciate your time as always. All right, we're going to take a quick break here. Got some more callers on hold. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. 808 KNBR. If you want to join in, I got 2 great interviews coming up. Tyler Fitzgerald coming up. I'd end up talking to him earlier in the week. A great conversation on how he's going to look forward to the 2025 season. And here's a name if you don't know, Sabin Sabalis. He came over in the Jorge Soler trade, and he's 22 years old, just had a remarkable spring training. He went 9 for 15, 7 RBIs, and you want to hear about him. He is a great young kid. So happy he is with the Orange and Black. He got drafted by the Braves out of University of Oregon, and we'll talk to him later in the show. But we'll come right back, take a break, and more coming up right here on KNBR, the Sports Leader.
This is KNBR Extra Innings with former Giants right-hander Bill Laskey.
Sponsored by Lenardi's Markets of the Bay Area. Quite simply, the best.
Hear him on your Apple HomePod by saying play KNBR. Play KNBR.
Welcome back to the Extra Inning Post-Game Show. Giants win the series in Cincinnati 6-3 in a rubber match today. Robbie Ray gets his first win of the season. He went 5 1/3 innings, only giving up 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Camilo Duvall came in, had a nice 1-2-3 inning for the Giants to get his first save as the Giants head on to Houston, where they're 2-1. We're going to take a quick look at the probables coming up on Monday. First pitch 5:10 right here on KNBR. Jordan Hicks gets his first start. The 28-year-old right-hander last year went 4-7 with a 4.1 earned run average. He appeared in 29 games, 20 starts, 109 2/3 innings, 112 hits, 96 strikeouts. And I think the big number that Giants are looking at him to eliminate, 47 walks, a lot of walks. He'll be going against Ronel Blanco. He was 13-6, really good arm out of this kid. 31 years old, has a nice fastball, slider, curveball mix, 13-6 with a 2.8 for the Houston Astros. He appeared in 29 starts, 167 1/3 innings, 114 hits, 166 strikeouts. Hard thrower in the mid-90s, high 90s when he gets up the speed to it, so it's a good matchup. First game tomorrow. On Tuesday, Logan Webb gets to start. He'll be on his 5-day start plan. Of course, his first start was against the Cincinnati Reds on Thursday. He went 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 Ks. I think the walks pretty much bothered him. Last year, of course, 13-10 in 33 games start. 204 innings he pitched last year, 202 hits. Gave up 11 home runs, had 1 shutout, and he ended up with a 3.47 earned run average. The Houston Astros made a trade to get Kyle Tucker to the Chicago Cubs. In this trade, they got Isaac Paredes and Cam Smith, the young outfielder, and a pitcher named Hayden Wisniewski. And Hayden was 3-6 for the Cubs last year, 3.8 earned run average. More out of the bullpen. He had 7 starts, 28 appearances. He's going to get to start tomorrow. Gave up 12 home runs last year in the 28 appearances. A right-hander. He's got more of a fastball cutter, sinker slider. This is what you always talk about, the movement on the pitches. Not a lot of velocity, but you're going to see a lot of movement out of him. On Wednesday, Landon Roop gets a start. That'll be a day game pretty much, 1:10 here. And he's going to go against Framer Valdez. That's the ace of the staff with Houston. He pitched a great game against the New York Mets on opening day. He got the win. He went 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 walks, 4 Ks, no earned runs as they beat the Mets 3-1. They took 2 out of 3 against the New York Mets in their opening series. Of course, Landon Roop pitched so well in spring training, he ended up getting the 5th-man starting position for the Giants. He was 1-2 with a 3.5 earned run average last year, 23 appearances, 4 starts. And we're going to see a little bit of what the Houston Astros throws out here in their starting lineup, because there's a lot of players that have been jumping, and one of them has been Christian Walker. He is now the first baseman for the Houston Astros. We have seen him with the Arizona Diamondbacks for years. He's hitting 4th in that lineup. Of course, Jose Altuve is now playing second base. He is now playing left field, and this has been an experiment for the Astros. It hasn't gone that great, but he is out there leading off for the Astros. Again, Brendan Rodgers, if you remember, he played with the Colorado Rockies for many years. He is now starting at second base. And we talk about Cam Smith, a 22-year-old kid that made the team. Of course, he was traded over for Kyle Tucker, and he was just so emotional when the Astros told him that he made the team. As a matter of fact, there was a video circulating where they brought his parents in the clubhouse, and they didn't tell him at first. and his parents came walking in the clubhouse, and he looked up and saw his parents, and he got so emotional he started crying. Just one of the great baseball stories, and these are always cool at the end of spring training when rookies or players that have been bounced around make the team. They make the 26-man roster, and if you want to take a look at it, it is a very emotional moment, and he is the 22-year-old right fielder for him, and we're going to see a lot of him in this next 3-game series. Good series so far. 3-game series against the Astros, and then next Friday the Giants open up against the Seattle Mariners at Oracle Park, a nice 3-game series with the Mariners, and then we see the Reds again for 3 games, and we don't see the Reds after that. All right, 808 KNBR, if you want to get on the phone lines, let's go out to Ramon in Santa Rosa. Ramon, how are you?
How are you, Billy?
I'm doing good, my friend. How are you?
I was going to ask you, who is the new pitching coach? Is that Tipi Martinez?
J.P. Martinez is who it is. J.P. Martinez. He was more of the guy that was on the bench last year looking at analytics, talking to the pitchers in between innings. They gave him the reins this year, and I think it's worked out really well. He's made this team believe in throwing more strikes, getting ahead of hitters. They had the best of all major league teams. They had the least amount of walks in spring training, and so far it's working real well for him.
Okay, I was thinking it was Tipi Martinez, the pitcher from Baltimore.
No,
like
that's
ago.
Tippy. Yeah, Tippy Martinez.
Right.
It's J.P. So yeah, I remember Tippy. He was a good little pitcher.
Right, he was. One more question, Billy. If you had to choose between Manny Machado and Chapman, would you pick Manny Machado?
Not a chance. I'm taking Matt Chapman.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Manny
I am. And I tell you,
is going to be a Hall of Famer.
Well, and so will Matt Chapman. I really believe it. And I've watched them both, and nothing against Manny Machado. He's one of the great players. But if you're asking me who I take Matt Chapman, and I think Manny Machado sometimes flares a little bit too much at third base. He's a great player. He makes every play, underhands it. But I think the steadiness that I watch in Matt Chapman daily, Ramon, I think that's why I have a little edge for Matt. Both of them are Gold Glove winners. Both of them are leaders on their team. And I'm right there with you. I love watching Manny play, but I'm going to tip my hat, and I'm going to take Matt Chapman over him.
Do you take Chapman over Arenado?
Who, now you're talking about years and years. Arenado has been one of the best for so many. He's got Gold Gloves all over his mantle. Another good third baseman. Let me go back in time with you. Do you think Brooks Robinson is probably the best third baseman before all these new kind of players came up?
Yeah, I would say Mike Schmidt.
Schmidt's up there also, yeah. I've faced Schmidt many times. I always thought Brooks Robinson, when he played with the Orioles, just made the sensational grabs back in the day that we never saw, the flair of a third baseman, and he was so stellar getting everything, especially those balls down the line where he had to backhand them and then come up throwing like we see Matt Chapman do a lot.
Another guy that I really enjoy watching him play was Ken Caminetti.
Mm-hmm. From the Padres, yeah.
He was great.
He was very good. There's a lot of them in that hot corner, because you got to have fast reactions. That's the key of any third baseman. And, you go back in time, so many good ones that we don't even talk about. A lot of Hall of Famers that played third base.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you very much, Billy.
Thank you, Ramon. I always appreciate your calls, and it's always great catching up with you. Have a good day. Let's go out to Berkeley and talk to Andrea. Andrea, how are you on a cloudy, overcast day in Northern California?
Well, it got a lot brighter with the Giants win. It really,
I love that one.
Yeah, no, that was great. Always nice to get a series win. And just really nice to see Matt Chapman. April 28th, 1993, and just, there was an awesome home run. The defense, remember, defense and pitching wins, and just really nice to see him reunited with Bob Melvin.
Yep. Andrea, let me ask you this question, and Ramon just threw it out to me. Manny Machado or Matt Chapman, who would you take at third base?
I like Matt Chapman. I really do. I mean, nothing against Manny Machado.
No, fantastic player, too.
Yeah. Is he with the Padres? Where is he these days?
He's with the Padres, yep.
Yeah.
He played a few years with Baltimore, but I really think the Matt Chapman leadership and how he makes the role of third base and different things that he does on and off the field. I don't know much about Manny Machado. They're both fantastic players, offensively and defensively. It's just something that Ramon just threw at me, and I'm glad you picked my guy.
Oh, yeah, because clubhouse chemistry, body, mind, spirit. You can't underestimate how important that is, and the loyalty. Chapman's a Taurus, and that loyalty and devotion that he has since he was with the A's and Bob Melvin. So to see that connection, evolve and get even stronger. Plus, he helps others in the clubhouse. So I think it's really nice. He hits home runs. He's got defense. He does what a third baseman's supposed to do. Plus, he has that extra chemistry and connection with Bob Melvin and other people.
Instinct, isn't it, Andre? Instinct. It's so fascinating when you see a third baseman and how you anticipate things, and then it's the instinct and catching it and knowing what to do with the ball. There was a couple plays today where he wanted to go after it, and then he let Willie Adames pick it up, and their chemistry of smiling and laughing. Like Chapman goes, I could have, but I let it go, and it was a good play by Adames.
Right, and that's, the years of experience that Chapman has, and, knowing what play to make and what play not to, and he made some outstanding ones today that really shifted the energy of the game, so I think it was really nice to see him on track. And Robbie Ray, October 1, 1991, he certainly had a good pitching performance.
Yeah. I thought he looked really good. Of course, watching spring training, and I know you've been on a lot of my shows on spring training. I really thought he came into spring training with the goal of being healthy, which he is.
Yes.
Last year, he didn't pitch that well. He was inconsistent last year. When you look at his numbers from last year, 7 games he started, 3-2, 4.7, only 30 innings. I think this year he wants to go out there and give you those 5, 6, 7 innings. And today he was stellar for 5 innings.
Yes, like the mantra says, pitching and defense wins games and championships. So we had both.
Well, they move into Houston. They have a 3-game series there.
Right.
Coming home next weekend. That'll be a fun Seattle Mariner team coming in here. Of course, the Athletics beat them 2 out of 3. Got to throw that one in there.
Yes.
I'm anxious to see tomorrow the Athletics play in Sacramento, and I'm anxious to see how these games are going to go against the Cubs. Yeah,
that's kind of a big deal. They're talking about the A's. They already changed the graphics, and in Sacramento, that's tomorrow, the home opener in Sacramento.
It'll be fun.
Yeah,
it'll be a fun one.
Just got to go with the flow with all these changes.
Come on, Andrea, you're the perfect person to know all about changes.
Yes, but I have Taurus rising, so I'm a little reluctant. I'll go with it eventually. But like Matt Chapman, we're loyal and devoted. We got to take some time to incorporate changes.
There you go. Well, thanks for the call today, Andrea. Have a great week. I'll talk to you next week, and I appreciate your time.
Yes, you too. Thanks for the great shows, Bill.
All right, appreciate it. Let's go out to San Lorenzo and talk to Mark Anthony. Mark Anthony, you're on with Bill Laskey on KNBR. How's your day going?
Oh, Bill, it's fantastic. Thanks for allowing me to get on the line with you. I'm flying high as a kite, Bill. I just got back from Disneyland with my family, 11 of us. My mother-in-law, my wife, my 3 beautiful children, Mark, Deborah.
Let me ask you this, Mark. How many miles per day did you walk?
My future son-in-law, David, told me we walked 30 miles in 3 days.
Yep, that'll get you going there.
Bill, it was worth every step because they call that the happiest place on earth, and it was. And
well, 11 of you going there. You had a lot of laughter and a lot of fun and a lot of memories.
The memories, Bill, are going to last forever. And I was wearing my Giants and 49er colors down there just hoping to start a conversation with one of those L.A. people. And they didn't want no part of the Giants. They didn't want no part of it.
It's a different flow, right, Mark? It's a different flow with this team. And I loved what I saw today. Small ball getting a guy over, a bunt by Fitzgerald, a close play at third base, a stolen base. But you know me, I love talking pitching, and Robbie Ray sure opened my eyes up for 5 innings with a perfect 15 up, 15 down.
Absolutely. Today was my first day. I got to watch him a little bit. I'm a little tired because I drove all day, but I watched the game. And I will say this, Bill, Being in Disneyland, your buddy, what's his name, Rick from Hayward, he reminds me of Alice in Wonderland. Remember there was a donkey called Eeyore? That's what he sounds like. He sounds
well,
like
Rick,
Eeyore.
you're trying to change. Mark, we're trying to
cloud.
change him a little bit. He's Debbie Downer, and today was a good call by Rick. A lot of positive energy coming out of him, but you know what? More wins will make him change. I think so.
I wouldn't go that far, Bill, but it's your show. But I will say this. I am positive I'm flying high because I love the team. I look around that infield, and I like the defense they have. I saw Ramos. He's slimmer now. I looked at him today, and he looks slimmer this year.
He looks good.
Last year.
Yeah, and I think Matos got a little stronger too, and playing winter ball really helped him out. His swing looks fantastic. Got a couple hits yesterday. It's just the defense. Sometimes the flare on Matos kind of gets me a little nervous. Some of the catches where he just flips his glove out instead of getting behind the ball and making a nice grasp. I just don't like the one-hand grabs.
Well, Bill, he's still young, right? These guys are young. They got that Dominican flair, right? The Latin flair that Willie Adames brings too.
Nothing wrong with that.
You got Matt Williams. You got the Sarge right there, and he's going to talk to him. And you got Bob Melvin. They're going to talk to him and bring him down. But now let me talk about the infield.
Sure.
Matt Chapman. I love this trade from day one. He came injured from Toronto. He was hurt.
He did.
It took him a little while to get healed up. But that man is solid as a rock. And I would have nobody at third base. I wouldn't have this cat from San Diego there because he's a hothead. Manny Machado, he's a hothead. Matt Chapman is not. He stays as a rock. He's gonna hold down that infield. He will be a plus, a benefit to Willie Adames because Willie Adames has never played next to a Matt.
It looks like they're becoming best friends too. You know that, Mark? They're always around each other in spring training, joking with each other. I love that chemistry. I love that with two older players to bring that to that clubhouse.
And Robbie Ray looked fantastic. A no-hitter for 5 innings. I'll take that. He got a little flustered after that bad call. The call that we got at third base, it looked on replay, it looked like he got him. It was close enough. But
I think he swiped him, but I don't think he got his right arm because you don't see any of it. It might have caught a sleeve, but we didn't see every angle like Kruk and Kuip were talking about. The angle, he might have missed him with a shot from the third baseline. We never saw that. I'm glad it went our way finally, and it ended up giving the Giants another run.
But they play so well together. They came out of spring training hot. I talked to you during spring training, and I was hoping they could continue it. Yeah, they could have easily gone 3-0 in Cincinnati, but that's not going to happen. They're not going to win every game. We have to be realistic here. But as long as the vibe is good, and I'm looking forward to it. Pitching is now a plus. Before it used to be a hindrance, and now they got a multitude of young pitchers coming in, and I can't wait to see Landon Roop. You have this other guy didn't even make the rotation. The other
Hayden Birdsong
was pitching great in spring training.
Yeah, Birdsong's in the bullpen. Hayden Birdsong's in the bullpen. Of course, Harrison pitched in AAA and threw the ball really well. Got his velocity up to 94 yesterday. Gave him 4 strong innings. Boy, when you look at what AAA has, is one of the best rotations in the minor leagues with Kyle Harrison, Carson Wisenhunt, Trevor McDonald, Mason Black, Carson Ragsdale, and Keaton Wynn. How do you go through AAA facing one of those guys every game?
And when's the last time you were able to say that? You probably can't even remember. It's been so long.
No, not AAA's got a hell of a roster, a hell of a team. I thought Brett Wisely was going to make this club. I really felt he was going to be that left-hand batter. Yeah, I think you and I talked about that.
Casey Smith.
Casey
Smith waiting in the wings because he's improving. Now, Bill, look at Camilo comes in today. Now, last year it got to his head. He was a little overwhelmed by the fact that he was not the closer anymore. But he's had all winter to think about it. He is a dynamite setup man. If that's the way.
Yeah, different attitude. I said the same thing, Mark. I said a different Camilo that we saw 2 years ago. A little more confident, a little bit more relaxed. He's got to be quicker when guys are on first base. We saw how he fell apart with that. I like what I saw today. He came in and threw strikes. He didn't care about location. A couple of those sliders were down and in and down and away, but it didn't matter. He came in and shut fire, got the fire, 1, 2, 3,
Yep. And
knocked
the first
it out,
guy he
got his
faced was
save.
Cruz.
Yeah.
He went after Cruz right off the bat. Their best player. He went right after him.
Back foot slider got him too, and Patrick Bailey came in, and I think that's what Bob Melvin wanted, Patrick Bailey to work with Camilo, and it was a nice 1, 2, 3 inning. But Mark, man, get some rest. Get some rest, my friend. You went to Disneyland.
I want to back you up on Buster Posey. The best move the Giants have made since picking up Barry Bonds in 1993. I love it. I hope Buster takes control. He's doing a good job, like you said, bringing in all the old-time players. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong, Billy.
Well, Mark, we'll be talking all year. Don't forget, 808 KNBR. You know where to find me on weekends, but enjoy yourself. Again, you're home now. I'm glad you're safe, and great call. I appreciate your time.
Thanks, Bill. Nice talking to you.
All right, let's go out to Fresno and talk to Mike. Mike, you're on the Extra Inning post-game show. Tell me your thoughts about Robbie Ray today.
Hey, I thought he threw really good today, you know. It was nice seeing him come out, throw strikes, not really nitpicking. I just thought it was awesome. I agree with you on that pitch delay thing. That just kind of just threw him off. I didn't.
Yeah, wasn't it kind of strange? He just it fell off it just came off the pitch clock, and he just didn't seem like he something happened where the pitches weren't where he wanted them. He missed. He fell behind. You know, 3-1 on Matt McClain after he gave up the home run to Wins. I thought that was the at bat where I was like, okay, he's done. J.P. Martinez came out and talked to him, and he walked the next hitter, which was Espinal, on 4 straight pitches, and I think that was the end of the line. I thought Eric Miller got that double play ball to get out of that inning. That was a big, big out right there.
Yeah, that was definitely a big out right there. And one of the guys I want to talk about is Helio Ramos. Like, man, this dude's awesome. He's everywhere in the outfield. He's hitting the ball. He's clutching up. It's really nice to see after, you know, he kind of struggled very early on in his Giants career.
Yeah, still young. We keep forgetting about it. He's only in his early 20s. I think making the club out of spring training, knowing he had that outfield position coming into spring training, gets that mindset knowing I'm going to be in this lineup. Leading off today, he was hitting 5th, got a couple RBIs. I think he's going to have a strong season for the Orange and Black.
Yeah, that's awesome. What did you think about that ball Gavin Lux hit off Lou Trevino? I thought that was a no-doubter right there.
So did I, and especially at the Great America Ballpark. But you heard Kipe and Kruk talking about the winds coming in from right field because they had a big storm coming in, and I really think the winds held that in because it was coming from right field all the way to left field. And Lou Trevino, when he looked up, he thought, oh, man, he crushed that. And all of a sudden he caught it on the warning track and that smile, and he was shaking his head like, woo, I got away with one there.
Yeah, that one was definitely that was a close one right there. I saw Lou Trevino's face, but, he's pitching very well, too. It's nice to see him healthy. I know he had a couple of years with the Yankees that probably didn't go as planned, but it's nice to see him.
Yeah, I'm going to have an interview. I'm going to have an interview with him. Yeah, Mike, I'll have an interview with him coming up here in the next couple of weeks. We'll talk a little bit about Lou Trevino and some of the trials and tribulations he went through. Today, you'll have to listen to my interview with Tyler Fitzgerald. And, I talk about Sabin Sabalis. This kid really is an upcoming player. He'll start in Richmond, 22 years old, out of University of Oregon. A couple great interviews coming up, though, Mike. But thank you so much for the call today. Great positive thoughts, and we'll see how they do it. They got to go to Houston and play 2 out of 3 there, and let's see if they can win that series.
We'll see. Have a good one. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Great calls today, Giants fans, as we turn the clock, and now they're off to Houston. And again, tomorrow, first pitch right here, 5:10. Jordan Hicks on the hill. We're going to see what he brings to this Giants rotation. Looking forward to seeing what he can do. Of course, saw a game against the Kansas City Royals in spring training on MLB Network where he was throwing 100 miles an hour, and we know he has got that in his arm. It's the arsenal of breaking that slider in for his zone and walking guys, and I think what you see out of him this year, a little more positive. He's got a little bit more consciousness of being in this rotation and giving the Giants 5-6 innings. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. First pitch right here with John Miller and Dave Fleming at 5:10 against the Houston Astros. All right, coming up next, sit back. I have Tyler Fitzgerald coming up. Tyler and I sit down and talk about the 2025 season, his mental approach, and how he is physically fit, and the new position he has at second base. That's coming up next right here on KNBR, the Sports Leader.
KNBR Extra Innings with Bill Laskey keeps the postgame rolling live right here.
Sponsored by Lenardi's Markets of the Bay Area. Quite simply, the best.
On KNBR 104.5 FM and 680 AM, the sports leader.
Welcome back to the Extra Inning Postgame Show with Bill Laskey. I'm excited for my guest today as the 2025 baseball season is upon us. The Orange and Black are in Cincinnati, and my good friend is back on the show with me. Let's welcome in Tyler Fitzgerald. Tyler, welcome back.
Hey, Bill. Thanks for having me on, man. I always love being on here with you, so I'm excited.
Well, I appreciate your time. The Giants had a great spring training. You were a big part of it. Tell me what happened during spring, and all these wins had to make this team pretty confident going into the season.
Yeah, it's just, year two with the coaching staff and, a lot of familiar faces around the clubhouse. A lot of guys were just super comfortable. We're really getting along as a team right now and just playing good ball. So we're doing a lot of the little things right. Defense, pitching, throwing strikes, hitting with guys on base, which is, some things we didn't do too well last year. So a lot to be excited for. And, I know it's spring training, but, we're winning games. So it's been awesome.
Well, the acquisition of Willie Adames, making shortstop his position, you're moving out to second base. Was it a hard change for you? Were you thinking about it during the off season? And coming into spring training, what was your mindset?
It's always going to be a challenging transition, but not, I don't think it's as hard as a position as shortstop, shortstop being such a demanding position. But I was very excited to make the move over to second base. I almost always have seen myself as being a big league second baseman over a shortstop, knowing that I can still go over and play shortstop when needed. But I'm super excited, man. I think it's just going to make the team better. Obviously having Willie, but he's just proven that he can stick there at shortstop. So I was excited, and I think spring training's has been very good defensively for me at second base. So I'm pretty pumped about getting up to play up the middle with Willie this year.
That voice you hear on the Extra Inning postgame show is Tyler Fitzgerald. Let's talk a little bit about second base. Angles are different, going down the right field line for pop-ups. What is one point of playing second base that you kind of scratch your head and go, oh, yeah, I got to get better at that?
Yeah, it's just it's turning the double plays in game. It's so much different than practice ground balls, because in practice we have Matty Williams from the right side hitting us ground balls, but then you get in the game and you got a guy like Shohei Ohtani from the left side hitting one like 110 at you. It's just so much different in game than it is in practice. I always tell the coaches to hit them harder, because in game it's coming off so much faster. But besides that, man, it's rotating my body the complete opposite way. And I think that's I was doing so much stuff in January. I think that's kind of why I hurt my back, was because I was turning my body so many different ways on double plays and just ways I wasn't used to. You rotate to the right side instead of just the natural left side, like the swing from shortstop. Mm-hmm. It's just, it's getting that muscle memory of turning the feet over to Willie at shortstop. So it hasn't been too hard of a transition. I feel actually pretty good there right now. So I'm confident in myself.
Tyler, I had Matt Williams on, and he always talked about balancing where your feet are, how much room you have. And that has to be exactly what you're talking about, the twist and turn, a different way to throw, a plant foot different. And just like you said, sometimes you twist and turn a little bit too much.
Exactly, yeah. And, from shortstop, it's just like hitting. Your body rotates exactly like I hit from the right side. So from second base, it's a whole new way I have to wire my mind to move. Instead of getting my feet going towards first base, I have to actually get my momentum going towards second base, to turn the double play, which I've never done in my whole life. So, but It's just different. It's kind of hard to explain just to the normal person, but I think I'll do pretty well there for the most part.
Tyler, another thing about second base, bunt plays, covering second base on stealing bags, backing up first base. All these different things are going through your head when you're learning a new position. And, of course, you're an experienced infielder. But those things have to be judged at the time, the instinct you have when these things all come about.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank God that's what spring training's for, So I'm very thankful that they – Bo Mel and the staff put me at second base for the whole spring training and wasn't moving me around too much just so I could get comfortable.
Tyler, let's talk about the hitting. The hitting is a major thing, getting on base, getting people over. One of the things you did last year, you got on base a lot for the Giants. Is this something that you've been working on too in spring training, as well as maybe a different thought pattern going up to these at-bats?
Yeah, and to be completely honest with you, this has been a terrible spring training for me hitting wise. There has been a lot of strikeouts, which is something that I am very eager to turn around. But it's baseball, man. It's slumps are going to happen, and I'm so glad that it happened here in spring training. But yeah, I want to get on base. I want to be the same guy that I was last year. Also hit for power. But, this back thing really set me back, and then I kind of got off to a slower start than I would like in spring training. And, usually when these things happen, I'll get in there and swing 200 times in the cages, but I can't do that now that I'm trying to stay healthy. So, with time, I'm going to get back to where I was. Hopefully that starts tonight here at Oracle. But, yes, sooner rather than later, preferably.
Well, the home run ball was nice for you last year. And when you start looking at numbers right off the bat, home runs were flying off your bat. I think there'll be more. You had 15 last year. At one time, you hit 5 home runs in 5 games, seeing the ball. And those weren't cheapy home runs, Tyler. You hit the ball real well in that little spurt.
Yeah. That was, I was on top of the world then, and then just as fast you can lose that, and you can do kind of what I'm doing in spring training right now. So baseball is such a crazy sport, and I've had hot streaks like that in the minors in the past, but just to be able to do that at the big league level was just incredible, and just to kind of show people, at this stage that I can do it. And what it did for my confidence moving forward last year was just tremendous. And hopefully I can top that 15 this year, but we'll see.
Tyler Fitzgerald joining me on the Extra Inning postgame show for a couple more minutes. We talk speed. One of the biggest things that you have an advantage of, speed going down the line, taking second base on stolen bases, going first to third. Matt Williams talked about speed on the bases, knowing how to cut corners. This is something you do, and you do it so well. Tell me a little bit about what your thoughts are going into this 2025 year.
Yeah, my thoughts are to be a little bit more aggressive, and that's kind of been talks from, the moment Buster was hired, and he called me, and, he wants me to go, man, and he doesn't care if I get thrown out, and, that kind of frees up my mind, and that frees up the whole team's mind. So just kind of hearing that from Buster, and Bo Mel's always been the same way, but, hearing it from Buster meant a lot to me. So, we're going to be a little bit more aggressive this year and trying to get those numbers up. And, I know the whole team's pretty excited to start stealing a little bit more as well.
Well, let's just go into this team 2025, looking into it. What are some of the expectations? What are some of the goals this team is trying to do as a unit?
Well, we want to play clean ball, and I think that starts in spring training. It was just amazing to see what the pitchers were able to do as far as throwing strikes and limiting the walks. And we have a great defense behind them, so we're going to play good defense. And I think at the end of the day, it's just going to come down to situational hitting, which we've been a lot better at this year compared to last. I think if we were better at that last year, our season looks so much different because we played so many close games that we just weren't able to win. But I don't think we have to put a limit on ourselves. We're coming in ready to win, and we're ready to compete. And, I think at the end of the day, you want to win a championship. So
we're not putting any limitations on ourselves, and we're going to come out ready to go and ready to win games.
Tyler, a couple things in the batting order. Is there somewhere where you'd like to be at the bottom of the order, maybe 8, 9 coming around? Does it matter where you bat in this order? Is there somewhere where you're real comfortable at?
Coming up through the minors, you always bat in the top of the order. So, I'm always going to say top, but, we're in the big leagues now, and wherever they have me, I'm fine with. Whether that's leading off, whether that's 9-hole, whether that's utility. I'm up here in the big leagues, and I'm living out my dream. So I'm not going to go and say, I have to hit here, I have to hit there. Wherever I see my name, I'll be ready to go. And we have so many good hitters, especially with Jung Hoo back, and Willie now in the middle of the order. I'll probably end up moving down the lineup a little bit, which is fine. So just try and get on base for those guys,
Tyler Fitzgerald joining me for a couple more questions on the Extra Inning Postgame Show. Let's get to some fun things. What happened over the winter? You just said it. You got married. You're excited. Something new in your life. Tell me a little bit about that moment.
Yeah, that was amazing. We got married November 1st in Louisville, Kentucky, where we met, my wife Sadie and I, and it was awesome. It was just so incredible having all family and friends at one place. The only time that'll probably ever happen with that many close family and friends. So really just the coolest day of my life. And then we went to Maui for our honeymoon after. So we really, really enjoyed this off season, and the wedding and all the preparation for it made it fly by. So it feels like we were just here at Oracle like a month ago, and now we're back. But definitely the coolest off season of my life for sure.
Well, now you have her side by side now as you enhance yourself for the 2025 baseball season. Who's the better cook in that family?
Oh, it's her. Yeah, I make the steaks. I do the chicken, but that's about it, man. Like everything else she handles. I do the meats, and yeah, that's as far as I'll go.
Well, fun times ahead for both of you. Congratulations. And again, let's talk some more, Tyler, as the season goes on. But good luck in the beginning of the year, and let's make this orange and black team powerful again.
Yep. I totally agree. Thank you, Bill. Thanks for having me on, man.
I appreciate your time. That was Tyler Fitzgerald on the Extra Inning Postgame Show. More coming up right here on KNBR, the Sports Leader.
Bill is back.
Fired up, bringing it, all excited.
This is KNBR Extra Innings with Bill Laskey.
Sponsored by Lenardi's Markets of the Bay Area. Quite simply, the best.
Listen on your Google Home smart speaker by saying play KNBR.
All right, welcome back to the Extra Inning Post-Game Show. On Sunday, Giants win today 6-3 at Great America Ballpark, and they take the series, the first 3 games of the 2025 season, and they did it with hitting, defense, and some great pitching on the starter as well as in the bullpen. Home run balls by Elliot Ramos, his second. The first hit of the game came in the 5th inning when he took a 1-1 changeup off of Nick Martinez and deposited in the left field, and that was the first hit of the game, and it was the first run the Giants needed, and they added on from there. They got 3 runs in the 6th inning, 2 more in the 8th inning, and they ended up getting 6 runs on 7 hits, 2 home run balls. The defense side, Matt Chapman just put another outstanding game. The Platinum Gold Glove winner made a nice play on Blake Dunn in the 6th inning, a backhand down the third baseline coming across and throwing him out. And then in the 8th inning, with Tyler Rogers in the game, 2nd and 3rd with 1 out, ground ball was hit to him. Hucklebees came running toward him. He didn't have to tag him. He came out of the baseline, and he ended up throwing a first base, and a double play ended that game, ended up that inning. And that was just a great heads-up play by Matt Chapman. Elliot Ramos laid out for a nice fly ball out by Encarnacion Strand in the 9th inning with Camilla Duvall on the hill, and sure enough, the defense came about. The defense in 3 games, no errors right now for the Orange and Black fans watching this. Good defense, good timely hitting. Saw a bunt today, a sac bunt, saw a bunt for a hit. A lot of things that we need to see more of from the San Francisco Giants. They head on to Houston Astros. They're playing the Astros tomorrow for a 3-game series, and next Friday, the home opener against the Seattle Mariners. Right now, Justin Verlander is the probable pitcher for that game. Sabin Sabalis, a name that you're going to learn about right now and learn a little bit about him. He came over in the Jorge Soler trade from the Atlanta Braves, played at University of Oregon from Puerto Rico, just a young, upcoming 22-year-old. And I got to sit down with him and talk to him, and it's just a fun interview. I just love bringing these kids on the air for Giants fans to learn a little bit about some of these minor leaguers. So coming up next, Sabin Sabalis right here on the Extra Inning Postgame Show on KNBR, the sports leader.
Your financial journey is unique, and Pettinelli Financial Partners is here to help you navigate it with confidence. So whether you're building your future or securing your retirement, their team provides lifelong personal guidance every step of the way. Start planning your financial journey today. Learn more at PettinelliFP.com. The financial consultants at Pettinelli Financial Partners are registered representatives with and securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, SIPC. Investment advice offered through Stratus Wealth Partners, a registered investment advisor. Stratus Wealth Partners and Pettinelli Financial Partners are separate entities from LPL Financial.
The game may be over, but we know you want to talk more ball. So KNBR Extra Innings with Bill Laskey continues.
Sponsored by Lenardi's Markets of the Bay Area. Quite simply, the best.
We are KNBR 104.5 and 6.8, the sports leader.
Welcome back to the Extra Inning Postgame Show with Bill Laskey. I'm honored to have a guest on. He tore the cover off the ball in spring training, one of the hot rookies that Bob Melvin loved. Let's welcome in Sabin Sabalis. Sabin, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm glad that you guys give me this opportunity to people know who I am. And, yeah, I'm glad that you guys let me do all this.
Well, it's great. Let's go back in time right off the bat. Giants fans want to get to know you. You grew up in Rio Grande, Puerto Rico. Tell me a little bit about your childhood in Puerto Rico.
So started playing ball when I was 3 years old. I just tried to follow my brother's steps when I was a young kid. So, yeah, he was kind of my inspiration to start playing this sport and start loving it the way that I love it. But, yeah, all that, I grew up in small town in Puerto Rico. Actually, it's a big town. It's one of the biggest one, but, like, small baseball-wise. It's big in track and field and other stuff, but like that town sports is pretty small right now. So yeah, just growing up over there, playing ball, and then moved to the capital, San Juan, to start playing front of scouts and all that, like all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's kind of interesting how a kid from Rio Grande start playing in the middle of the country, kind of to show out.
Some of the good things that happen, of course, winter ball. Puerto Rico is one of the great places for a lot of big leaguers to play winter ball. I'm sure that was something you gravitated to. Was there some big league players that you just kept eyeing on?
One of the big ones that I get a shirt dugout and locker room with it was Martin Maldonado, Alex Machete. Yeah, he was a big part of my offseason this season. Be able to like share experience with him, especially like the championship. Be involved in like playoff time with him was one of the biggest things that happened in my career. See how that guy leading us and like handle stuff when like stuff went down for us, especially in that first series in playoff in Puerto Rican League. Obviously Eddie Rosario's be around those guys that he have like playoff MVP and like almost he win a World Series MVP. You know, be around those guys that have like playoff experience. Emmanuel Rivera, they have 3 playoff, 1 World Series on him. Yeah, all those guys help me. Jorge Lopez, be around those guys and be the young guy in the team. Yeah, especially like this year that all those guys came together for the first time in like years since they're big leaguers, and having that experience with them and all their advice helped me a lot, especially like coming to spring training and be ready for everything.
That voice you hear on the Exiting Postgame Show is Sabin Sabalis. Now let's talk about each one of those. Those guys turned into mentors for you. You watched them, you listened to them, you went into batting cages with them. Tell me some of the instruction that they gave you.
So, yeah, especially Machete was one of the guys that he like actually talked to me about my swing. He said that I have a plus average swing, so that I don't have to. Sometimes when he saw me in the cages, try too much for looking for that perfection. He was like, hey, don't looking for that stuff, you know. Your swing is already good. Like, your swing can play in the big leagues right now. It's just, like, be consistent on what are you doing, like, having a good routine, not thinking too much when you're stepping the box. Like, all that stuff is going to get you through, you know, long year per year, like, long year and in a long season. So the less that you're thinking when you're out there in the box is like what will get you successful. So that's one of the things that I appreciate that Machete shared with me, especially a guy that have like plus 10 years in the big leagues. You know, he's been up, he's been down. But like coming from that guy that it's not been super successful as a hitter, you know, and he tell you that that's when you actually acknowledge your swing and actually say, you get it, you know. It's just like not thinking that much and don't focus about the big things, just like get the little things right and then you're gonna be good, you know.
Oh, some fantastic words of encouragement, confidence. Those are all things as a young hitter like you're doing, listening to professionals, as you said, have reached a big league level and were very successful. Let's go back a little bit. You ended up going to Puerto Rico Baseball High School Academy. Tell me a little bit about that. So that was my dream school since I'm a kid. Not every player get to play there and get a scholarship there. But yeah, when the dream let's say the dream of like getting to that school came, actually then it was when Carlos Correa get drafted in 2012. That was the guy that all Puerto Rico follow. Like everybody tried to be that guy by the time. He was the sample for everybody, you know. He coming from a little town, kind of like me, you know. So watch how Carlos Correa was successful and the years that he have after being drafted in the first pick. That's what I make the decision that was like, all right, I want to be part of that, you know. So see that Carlos Correa get drafted as the first pick. He was our only first pick in the history, in the new era, kind of, you know. But like he was the first one to actually get one of one, you know. So it was impressive how he do it, and everybody like tried to follow him and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that was actually my turning point, that telling my parents that I want to be part of that. Like see the guy that he was in the minor leagues, how prepared he was for challenges. Watching all that, like that's when I started coming to the States to watch him play and all that kind of stuff. Like every time that we come into like a perfect game showcase or something, all the time that we're in Florida, by the time he was in Houston, so you were in Jupiter. So yeah, like you were close to Jupiter actually. So every time that we were like have a chance to go watch Correa, me and my parents and my brother, we take the chance to go watch him just because like how impressive that was. So yeah, the dream came true. My 14 years old, I went 1 year to public school in my town. That was the last year that I told my parents, I want to take this year to like be with my friends and
having like the good experience that we have in high school last time, and then let's just focus about baseball the next year. So 15 years old, 14 years old, I'm going to start tryout for getting into high school. At 15 years old, I get him picked to be the only full ride that year. So after that, be there for like 3 years, get graduated, but then COVID came, and I have to went for the next step. That was JUCO.
Well, I tell you what, Sabin, the one word you said was focus, and that's one thing that you did excellent in high school. You ended up going to a junior college for a couple of years. You got drafted in 2022 by the LA Angels in the 14th round. Were you interested about jumping right then? Or, I know you ended up going to a Pac-12 school with the Oregon Ducks. Was there any interest in signing at that time?
No, obviously, when the dream came true about being selected in the draft was something that we acknowledge, and all me, my agent, my parents, my brother, we all like thinking about it. We all thought that I was ready for it. I told my agent that I probably need one more year to like actually see who myself was. Like by the time I get drafted as a catcher with the Angels, and that was my first year catching. That was my first year catching, and after that, like I told my agent, it's just like I want to try the corners one more year. So let's see how that goes. I know that he's there, so I think that I can do it the right way and jump into like actually D1 school. So by the time that I get picked, I was already making my choice that I was going to Oregon. So that was I get picked in the third day. I think I talked to my agents about it. It's just like, hey, I'll probably get picked tomorrow. We all know it, but like I wanna play D1 ball. So that's what I tell them, and they respect it. They respect my decision at the time, and yeah, we go for there. Like,
boy, you made the right decision, Sabin. The numbers came off the plate there. Boy, oh boy, just looking at what you did at Oregon, just the 18 home runs, 70 RBIs. Your batting average was .333. Plate appearances 256. You only punched out 36 times, and the honors just followed you. Rawlings Gold Glove team, first team All Pac-12, Pac-12 Conference All Tournament team, the Collegiate Baseball Player of the Week. And boy, that were just honors after honors. And what happens? The Atlanta Braves draft you in the third round in the 2023 draft. And you said it was time. I wanted to sign a contract, and you ended up doing that. Tell me that night, and tell me a little bit about the process when the Atlanta Braves came knocking at your door.
So, yeah, that was a cool experience, obviously. Yeah. As soon as that I got eliminated on that Super Regionals against Aura Robert, the next day I fly to the Combine to get some interview with the scouts. I talked to my agent. I was like, I think this is the year that we should do it, especially with like how interesting all the organizations were, like where they were talking to him about like which rounds are supposed to go. Obviously, the draft is like a roller coaster. We all know that a lot of things happens that day, but like you can have idea sometimes that like when you go on and when it's time for you like sign and when is your time, So yeah, when I get picked that night, that was impressive. That was one of the best moments in my career, obviously. But yeah, we were ready for it. That was, like I said, it was a roller coaster because we have like 2 more teams in the phone with my agent, and my other, like his assistant have 2 more teams in their phone to tell them, hey, like we have him in the next round too, and a couple more teams have me in that same round, but like 2 more picks and all that stuff. And having all that experience was kind of really comfortable. Yeah, when I get that first call from the Brave, especially like I was not able to talk to the Brave that much in the year because all that stuff, like we have a long season stuff that we have to carry, and the Brave were one of the teams that not making approach in us like in the fall. So yeah, by the time in season was really tight having conversation with them. So when they call and see the culture that they were building with these young kids that all were from the farm, like Albies, Acuna, Riley, all those kids, Harris, and see like how well that went, was impressive, and I was like, yeah, when they called, I was like, all right, this is the time for me. And I telling my agent that day when I rejected the Angels on 22 that I was getting picked in the first 3 rounds. So that was one of the things that actually went crazy, because when he saw my name getting picked, and we all went like, I told him, man, I told you. So, and that was
a great time. I mean, it's a great time, not for you, your family, your relatives. I mean, now you're signing that contract. You sign and you end up going to A-ball. And let's jump up a little bit. In 2024, Jorge Soler gets traded from the Giants to the Braves. And guess who gets traded to the Giants? A lot of Giant fans are happy with this one. Sabin Sabalis gets traded for one. You know, when you talk about Jorge Soler, I mean, 2 good hitters, and I think the Giants won that battle. Tell me what you felt when they told you got traded.
So I was coming back from Brooklyn. We have a series against the Cyclones. That's the high A ball team from the Mets. And then I came back, and all went crazy. I got a lot of missed calls from the majors over there. One from my manager. I was like, all right, I should call them. But then they ended up telling me that I was getting traded. Obviously, I get nervous by then, because then you start thinking about, hey, what's gonna be with my career now? I need to meet a bunch of new guys, new culture, a new team, a new logo, you know. But by the end of the day, it's baseball, you know. Like, as a baseball player, we get adapted to it. And, like you say, I don't say it. The Giants win. The Giants win the trade.
I'll tell you that right now. But the whole trade was you and a left-hander named Tyler Matzik was traded for Jorge Soler and Luke Jackson. Now you come over here and you go and you start off all the way in the small A ball. Then you get up to Eugene. Yep. And I thought that was a good jump for you right there to get to Double A, and your numbers proceeded really well. I mean, when you're looking at what you did, 259, pretty good, right? Well, 259, that was in small A. In Eugene, 295. The home run balls were right there. You had 30 RBIs. Let me just tell me, how did you make that jump? When you felt when you were going to Double A, was there any fear in you? I know there isn't, but was there any thought pattern, hey, I'm jumping up to Double A now?
No, actually, it's a new challenge. I love challenges, you know. I think that I've been made for it, and that's something that I'm ready for the whole time. And I love having them. So it's not that I'm not I don't want to say that I'm not nervous. Obviously, some inches that I want to be there. I want to be part of it, but at the end of the day, it's baseball. So I'm actually calm a little bit, and especially with the job that I've been putting and the work that I've been putting on in sprint training, all the work. So I just trust in the work that I've been putting on in sprint training and all this stuff that I think I'm going to carry, and I'm sure going to carry for the season. So having that process and having all these moments in sprint training happen to me, you know, prepare myself to be ready for this season this year.
Well, you know, a couple more minutes with Sabin Sabalis on the Extra Inning Post-Game Show. You go into spring training, you're up and down. You're only 22 years old. Bob Melvin raved about you. Damon Minor raved about you. Pat Burrell raved about you. I watched it a little bit. I followed what you did. It was the swagger. It was the flair. It was the clutch hitting. Those are all confidence boosters for you. And you did it right in front of the big league staff. How happy were you when those games got over?
Oh yeah, I was like a kid. I was like a little kid living their dream, you know. But at the same time, I know them myself. I know what I'm capable to do. So when those moments get into front of me, it's like the time has stopped, you know. And I tell myself, you're built for this. Like, this is your moment, this is your time, and it's your time to show them who you are. Not even like our staff, you know, show the opposite team who you are too. You know, it's like a long season that their guys gonna watch it over and over again. So that's one of the things that I've always told my family. Just like, I don't want them to I don't want the opposite team to like fear Sabin, but I want them to respect them, like respect him. You know, when I'm a step in the box, like they have some respect on my end. So, yeah, that was one of the awesome things. Obviously, having those time in front of our staff, that was really fun, especially our staff and the culture that they built. And doing those stuff in front of them, that was pretty cool. And having them speak about you and having your back in those moments, it's pretty nice.
Well, Sabin, let's have some fun with some fun questions. Let's hear, what are hobbies? What kind of hobbies you have away from baseball?
So I'm a big video game guy. I like to play a little bit of Warzone. I like to cook a little. As a Latin guy, you know how to like.
Latin player, okay. The Latin flavor.
Yeah, I love to cook and obviously be with my family, brother, dog, girlfriend.
Beautiful.
My girlfriend, family, like all that kind of stuff, you know, like be around them. It's pretty nice.
So I got to ask you, what kind of music are you, and are you a good dancer?
I am a good dancer, just to let that clear. But yeah, obviously Hispanic music. Yeah, Bad Bunny, salsa, like merengue, Dominican music. But yeah, Bad Bunny's in the top of my list. Like a random that I heard, it's Adele. It's random to a baseball player. Listen to her, but that it's my pregame music. I listen to her. She makes me feel calm. Olivia Rodrigo too. Olivia Rodrigo made myself to feel calm a little. So yeah, it's some stuff that I do pregame. I don't like to be too hyped. I want myself to be relaxed and calm. And then because I'm a pretty emotional player, I know that. So yes, I go too hype, the energy is going to be too up. So I need to level up and be able to lead a team, you know. So it's to be able to do that, I need to listen like chill music before the game and be ready for it.
Well, Sabin, what a pleasure to get to talk to you and get to meet you. Giant fans are going to love you when you get to the big league level. I can't wait for that moment, and I just want to wish you all the luck. If it's in AAA or AA, I want to see you in the big leagues, my friend.
Thank you, sir. It was a pleasure to speak with you guys, and you guys give me this chance to like let the people who Sabin is, and yeah, all that kind of stuff. Thank you, sir.
That was Sabin Sabalis on the Extra Inning Postgame Show. More coming up right here on KNBR, the Sports Leader.
Your financial journey is unique, and Pettinelli Financial Partners is here to help you navigate it with confidence. So whether you're building your future or securing your retirement, their team provides lifelong personal guidance every step of the way. Start planning your financial journey today. Learn more at PettinelliFP.com. The financial consultants at Pettinelli Financial Partners are registered representatives with and securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, SIPC. Investment advice offered through Stratus Wealth Partners, a registered investment advisor. Stratus Wealth Partners and Pettinelli Financial Partners are separate entities from LPL Financial.
You're listening to the former Giants righty. It's KNBR Extra Innings with Bill Laskey.
Sponsored by Lenardi's Markets of the Bay Area. Quite simply, the best.
Heard on your Apple HomePod by saying play KNBR.
Welcome back to the Extra Inning Post-Game Show with Bill Laskey as we finish out a Sunday. Giants win today 6-3 to take 2 out of 3 against the Cincinnati Reds for their first series, on to Houston for a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday series. And next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the Seattle Mariners come in for the home opener on Friday. Extra Innings will be following up the Saturday and Sunday show. I want to thank my producer today, Double D, Danny Dunn, and Kyle Chung picking up the phone calls. Thank you, Giants fans, for filling up the phone lines talking good Giants baseball as they won a great game today. For Bill Laskey, be safe, be well. More coming up right here. KNBR joins the ESPN game, and that's the San Diego Padres. They're 3-0 versus the Atlanta Braves 0-3. More coming up right here on KNBR, the sports leader.
It's another great outing for the righty on your home of San Francisco Giants.